On our wedding night, my actor husband Adrian abandoned me to secretly meet his ex-girlfriend. When he returned, reeking of alcohol, he embraced me while calling out Selina's name. The next day, Selina posted on Facebook, "Some loves can only linger on the lips and teeth, concealed in the passage of time. Wishing you happiness." Fans flooded the comments, cursing me as the homewrecker. My agent was nearly driven mad with anxiety. I leisurely scrolled through my phone and calmly said, "What's the rush? Post the photos of them in bed last night, claiming it's me, the legitimate wife, catching them in the act of adultery. Remember to censor the photos, but ensure Adrian's watch on his wrist is recognizable." 10 minutes after the photos were posted, Facebook's servers crashed. The hashtags "Adrian cheats on wedding night," "Selina knowingly becomes the mistress," and "Iris catches adultery" quickly dominated the top 3 trending searches. Agent Linda's phone was ringing off the hook. She covered the receiver, her face pale as she looked at me. "Iris, Adrian's team, and..." Victoria sighed, "They're all calling." I nodded, signaling her to continue. "They want you to immediately post a clarification on Facebook, saying it's a still from a drama, or that friends got drunk at a gathering, and it's just an angle issue." I chuckled lightly. "Clarify? Why should I clarify? I am Adrian's lawfully wedded wife, abandoned by my husband on our wedding night, and now I have to cover for his affair with his ex-girlfriend? Linda, do you think I'm some saint with my brain squeezed by a door?" Linda was left speechless by my question. The door was forcefully slammed open. Adrian burst in, his eyes bloodshot. He gripped his phone tightly, veins bulging on the back of his hand. "Iris. You're insane. Do you know what you've done?" He hurled his phone onto the coffee table in front of me, the screen displaying the photos I had posted. "Why did you do this? Selina is innocent. She was just in a bad mood. I went to keep her company with a drink. Nothing happened between us." I looked up, calmly gazing at him. "If nothing happened, why was she wearing your shirt? If nothing happened, why did you hold me and call her name all night?" Adrian's face instantly flushed red, as if his throat had been seized. He probably hadn't expected that I had heard everything clearly. He roared, "I was drunk. I just made a mistake that any man in the world might make. Do you have to blow this up so much, ruining my career and destroying Selina? I never thought you were so vicious." I stood up and walked toward him. "Adrian, what you've destroyed is our marriage, yourself, and your precious Selina." "Vicious? Compared to you two, I'm at most dispensing justice on behalf of heaven. Additionally, let me correct you. It's not that all men in the world make such mistakes, only men like you who can't control their lower halves do. Don't drag everyone else down to cushion your fall." Adrian trembled with rage, raising his hand to strike me. I didn't dodge, just coldly stared at him. "Go ahead and hit me. Tomorrow's top trending headline will be Actor Adrian commits domestic violence. I guarantee it'll be hotter than your cheating scandal." His hand froze in midair, eventually dropping powerlessly. Adrian's mother, Victoria, the chairman of Hua Entertainment Media, personally called. As soon as the call connected, her condescending voice came through. "Iris, immediately delete the Facebook post, then hold a press conference to apologize, saying it was all a misunderstanding. The Hua family's face cannot be trampled on the ground like this by you." I leaned back on the sofa, leisurely filing my nails. "Victoria, the one losing face isn't me, it's your precious son. On our wedding night, he did such a thing, and I haven't directly filed for divorce yet. That's already giving the Hua family plenty of face." The other end was silent for a few seconds, then she suppressed her anger and asked, "What do you want? Resources? Or money? Name your price, as long as you suppress this matter." I blew the nail filings off. "I don't want anything. I just want justice." Victoria sneered. "Justice? In this circle, whoever has the harder fist is justice. Iris, don't forget, everything you have now was given by whom? Without the Hua family, you're nothing. Put away your unrealistic naive ideas, I'll give you half an hour to think. If I don't see your apology post on Facebook in half an hour, you'll bear the consequences. The call was hung up. Linda looked at me with deep concern. Iris, Victoria, she means what she says. The endorsements and scripts we have are all connected through Hua Entertainment. I patted her hand reassuringly. Don't worry, the sky won't fall. Half an hour passed quickly, and I didn't post anything on Facebook. Instead, photos of Selina crying on a hospital bed were released by her team. The caption read, "Thank you all for your concern, I'm fine. Please don't blame anyone, it's all my fault." In the photos, she wore a hospital gown, her wrist wrapped in bandages, evoking pity. In an instant, public opinion reversed again. The hashtag Selina suicide surged to the top trending spot even faster. My Facebook comments section was completely overrun, with countless righteous fans flooding in, cursing me with the most venomous language. Driven to death. Iris, you venomous woman. Adrian, divorce her quickly. Marrying such a woman is like being cursed for 8 lifetimes. Heartaches for Selina, hug Selina, we're always by your side. Adrian called again, this time his voice carrying a hint of sobs and endless hatred. Iris, Selina attempted suicide. If anything happens to her, I won't let you off. Are you satisfied? Are you smug now? I quietly listened to his rant until he tired himself out, then softly spoke. Adrian, do you think the whole world should revolve around you two star-crossed lovers? When she cries, it's me bullying her. When she goes to the hospital, it's me forcing her. What about me? As the legitimate wife cuckolded by you two, do I deserve to be cursed and swallow my grievances? You should go to the hospital now and guard her well. Remember to tell her, next time she acts, make it thorough, don't make the wrist wound as shallow as a cat scratch. Netizens nowadays aren't that easy to fool. My counterattack thoroughly enraged the Hua family. The next day, the official Facebook of a major film I was in announced my removal, citing issues with the actor's personal conduct causing negative social impact. Following that, several high-end endorsements I held issued termination statements one after another. Linda held the termination letters, her hands shaking. It's over, Iris, all over. Victoria is determined to blacklist us completely. Overnight, I went from a hot rising star to a despised pariah. Adrian sent me a message, is this what you wanted? Iris, I gave you a chance. Now get out of my house immediately, my lawyer will send you the divorce agreement. I looked at the message and laughed. Get out? This villa's property deed is in my name, it was a premarital gift from my parents. I replied with one word, scram. He must have been furious, storming back home with 2 bodyguards. Iris, don't be shameless. This house belongs to the Hua family, you have no right to stay here. He pointed at me with a superior attitude. I sat on the sofa, leisurely watching him. Actor Adrian, have you gone stupid from filming? Open your eyes wide and see whose name is on the property deed. This is my premarital property, it has nothing to do with your Hua family, not a single cent. Adrian was stunned, he clearly didn't know about this. Behind him, Selina was weakly leaning against the doorframe, her pale face showing just the right amount of surprise and grievance. Adrian, forget it, let's go. Sister doesn't want to see us, let's not make her angry. She tugged at Adrian's sleeve, her voice as faint as a mosquito. What a perfect white lotus. Adrian looked at her, his eyes overflowing with heartache. He turned his head, glaring viciously at me. Iris, you wait. I'll make you pay for what you've done today. I'll make sure you can't survive in this industry. I stood up and walked toward them. Fine, I'm waiting. My gaze bypassed Adrian and landed on Selina. Miss Selina, next time you pull the suicide stunt, remember to prepare the hospital's diagnosis report. Otherwise, faking medical records for sympathy might make people laugh their heads off. Selina's body stiffened, her face turning even paler. Adrian immediately shielded her behind him, roaring, "Iris! Shut up! Don't hurt her anymore." I looked at his protector of the flower demeanor and found it utterly ridiculous. "Hurt?" I sneered, "the one truly hurting her is you. It's you who gave her unwarranted hope, making her think she could step on me to rise. Adrian, you are the root of all this tragedy." The Hua family's blacklist order was swift and decisive. All my work was halted, my team forced to disband, leaving only Linda by my side. Online curses against me were overwhelming. Extreme fans even doxed my home address, splashing paint on my door and sending bloody razor blades. Linda reported to the police, but it was futile. Those people were like flies smelling blood, driving away one wave only for another to come. Meanwhile, Adrian and Selina were triumphant. They attended a charity gala together, where Adrian gazed affectionately at Selina in front of the cameras. "I'll handle my personal matters soon and give Selina a proper status." The entire internet cheered for their fairy tale romance, while I became the vicious ex-wife obstructing their happiness. Victoria called again, her tone filled with the condescension of a victor. "Iris, do you regret it now? I told you long ago, fighting me, you're too green. Now, as long as you kneel and beg me, then publicly release a long article, taking all the blame on yourself, admitting you were jealous of Selina and maliciously spread rumors. I can consider leaving you a way out." I listened to her words, finding them absurd. "Victoria, have you forgotten who I am? My father is Dominic, though retired to the background, he still holds significant influence in the business world. My mother is a top national painting master in the country, with students everywhere. I was never a parasitic vine that needed to cling to the Hua family to survive. The reason I hadn't used my family's connections was to avoid making things too ugly, wanting to leave a last shred of dignity for myself and Adrian. But now, it seemed they didn't need it." Victoria's voice turned cold. "It seems you're stubbornly unrepentant. Then don't blame me for being ruthless. Iris, I'll show you what true despair is." After the call ended, I received a call from my father. His voice was as steady as ever. "Iris, you've been wronged. Do whatever you want, Dad is your strongest backing." My eyes welled up, the grievances accumulated over days finally bursting forth. "Dad, I'm fine." After hanging up, I wiped my tears and dialed another number. "Interested in discussing a deal?" The other side chuckled, his voice low and pleasant. "Miss Iris's invitation, of course I'm interested. Tell me, how do you want to play?" I looked out the window at the neighborhood besieged by reporters and fans, my gaze gradually turning cold. "I want Adrian ruined, his reputation in tatters. Lucian, Adrian's arch-rival and the president of entertainment giant Starshine Media. I met him at a highly private club. Lucian appeared more charismatic than in photos, dressed in a tailored black suit, with a tall and upright figure. He pushed over a document. This is Starshine's S-level contract, along with the PR team and legal team I've prepared for you. Whatever you want, I can give it to you. He looked at me, his eyes deep. I have only one condition. I want half of Hua Entertainment Media's market share. I smiled. Lucian's appetite is truly not small. He picked up his coffee, eyes fixed on me. To deal with the Hua family, one naturally has to invest heavily. Miss Iris, now it's your turn to show your sincerity. I took out a USB drive from my bag and pushed it toward him. Inside this are all of Adrian's scandals since his debut, including but not limited to tax issues, bullying on set, and some special fetishes. Enough to make him fall from the clouds into the mud. Lucian raised an eyebrow, clearly surprised. How did you get these? I said indifferently. When Adrian trusted me, I could look at his phone anytime. I just have a habit of backing up good stuff. Lucian looked at me, his eyes showing more appreciation. It seems Adrian was truly blind. He picked up the USB drive, pleasure cooperating. Our alliance was officially formed. The first step was the counterattack. Lucian's team was highly efficient. That very evening, a long article titled "A Wife's Monologue" was released across the internet. The article, in my voice, detailed my relationship with Adrian from meeting to marriage, up to his infidelity on our wedding night. There were no fierce accusations or vicious curses. The entire piece was a calm and restrained narrative, yet between the lines seeped endless sorrow and disappointment. At the end of the article, the recording of my conversation with Victoria was attached, where she arrogantly demanded I kneel and beg for mercy. Within half an hour of release, public opinion backlashed instantly. Damn. The Hua family is too bullying. This is forcing Iris to her death. Heartaches for Iris, marrying into a wealthy family turned out to be jumping into a fire pit. Adrian the scumbag, Victoria the evil mother-in-law, Selina the green tea bitch, this family is unbelievable. To those who cursed Iris before, I apologize. I was blind. The tide turned completely. The Hua family was in chaos. Victoria was so angry she smashed her most beloved antique vase. Adrian called me, his tone no longer arrogant but carrying a subtle panic. Iris, what do you want? Must it be mutual destruction? The fish may die, but the net won't break, I replied coldly. Adrian, this is just the beginning. The Hua family's PR team tried to whitewash, claiming the recording was fabricated. But Lucian's team was prepared, directly releasing a professional agency's authentication report confirming the recording's authenticity. The Hua family was beaten without any power to fight back. Following that, the contents of the USB drive began to be released bit by bit. First, evidence of Adrian's tax evasion. The tax authorities immediately intervened. Once verified, Adrian not only had to pay back huge taxes and fines but might also face imprisonment. His commercial value instantly zeroed out. Then, videos of him bullying newcomers on set. In the video, he cursed a young actor viciously and even pushed him, his arrogant face a stark contrast to his usual elegant actor image. Actors and staff he had bullied before came forward one after another, accusing him of his misdeeds. Adrian's persona collapsed into pieces overnight. He became a notorious artist everyone condemned, former fans defecting and turning against him, cursing him relentlessly. Selina wasn't spared either. Her past scandals of faking illness for sympathy and snatching others' resources were exposed one by one. Someone even revealed that her so-called wrist injury suicide was actually an accidental cut, but she exploited it to frame me. A hospital nurse anonymously confirmed that she was in high spirits upon admission, chatting and laughing with Adrian, not at all like someone who had attempted suicide. The labels scheming bitch and green tea expert stuck firmly to her. She was blacklisted by all production teams and brands, her acting career coming to a complete end. The Hua family empire was on the verge of collapse. Hua Entertainment Media's stock price hit continuous limit downs, shareholders sold off stocks en masse, and the company was in panic. Victoria was overwhelmed, no longer her former arrogant self. She tried to contact my father to plead, but he directly shut her out. Business is like a battlefield, winners take all, losers get no sympathy. Lucian Starshine Media seized the opportunity to launch a major offensive, quickly capturing Hua Entertainment's market and profiting immensely. Everything proceeded methodically according to my plan. The final straw that broke the camel's back came soon. Lucian's team released a complete video. The scene was in Adrian's and my bridal chamber, on the wedding night. In the video, Selina wore Adrian's shirt, sitting on the bed, looking at him pitifully. Adrian, do you really want to be with her? You clearly love me. Adrian sat beside her, his face full of pain and struggle. Selina, give me a little more time. Marrying her was just to appease my mom. Once I get the company's inheritance rights, I'll divorce her immediately and marry you. Selina leaned into his arms, her voice tearful, but I can't wait anymore, seeing you with her hurts my heart so much. Then what do you want me to do? Selina lifted her head, a calculating glint flashing in her eyes. Let's create a misunderstanding, make her think something happened between us. She's so proud, she definitely won't tolerate this grievance and will make a fuss with you. Then, your mom will be completely disappointed in her, and we can naturally be together. Adrian hesitated for a moment but eventually nodded. Okay, all as you say. The video ended abruptly there. The truth was revealed. From the beginning, this was a thorough conspiracy. The so-called wedding night infidelity, the so-called star-crossed lovers, were just a play they directed together to force my divorce. I was the fool kept in the dark, the most innocent victim in their plan. The entire internet exploded. Angry netizens nearly wanted to devour Adrian and Selina alive. Damn. My worldview is shattered. How can there be such disgusting people? To climb up, even using such despicable means? Iris is too pitiful. Calculated on her wedding night, what kind of human suffering is this? Adrian, get out of the entertainment industry. Selina, get out of the entertainment industry. Adrian and Selina completely became despised rats. They dared not go out or go online, hiding in their apartment all day like frightened birds. But what they owed me was far from repaid. Adrian's tax issues were ultimately confirmed, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison and fined billions. To pay his fines, the Hua family sold most of their assets, and Hua Entertainment Media was completely acquired by Starshine Media. The once arrogant Victoria turned white-haired overnight. She knelt at my doorstep, tearfully begging me to spare Adrian and the Hua family. Through the door, I coldly looked at her. Victoria, when you forced me back then, did you ever think there would be today? The cycle of karma is just, heaven spares no one. All this is your own doing. I had security escort her out. As for Selina, her fate was even worse. After being blacklisted by the industry, she lost all sources of income. To survive, she had to sing in small bars, but was recognized by people she had offended before and publicly humiliated. Later, I heard she owed high-interest loans, had her legs broken by debt collectors, and completely vanished into the crowd. Meanwhile, with Lucian's help, my career reached new heights. I starred in an art film directed by an international master, winning the Palme d'Or for Best Actress with my superb performance. At the award ceremony, I wore a dazzling red gown, shining on the world stage. Lucian sat in the audience, gazing at me tenderly, his appreciation and love undisguised. My divorce from Adrian proceeded exceptionally smoothly. He left with nothing, and I reclaimed all that was mine. On the signing day, he looked at me with complex eyes. Iris, I regret it. I smiled. Unfortunately, there's no regret medicine in this world. Adrian, wish you well inside, reform properly and start anew. I turned and left without a trace of reluctance. After Adrian was imprisoned, I visited him once. In prison uniform with a buzz cut, he looked haggard, devoid of any former actor glamour. Across a thick glass, he looked at me, eyes full of bloodshot. He hoarsely asked, "Why?" "Iris, you once loved me, didn't you? Why can you be so ruthless?" I looked at him calmly. "Yes, I once loved you. I loved the Adrian who patiently explained scenes to me on set, silently handed me medicine when I was sick, and clumsily comforted me when the director made me cry. But that Adrian died long ago. He died on the wedding night when you two conspired against me. The current you is just a selfish, cowardly, and foolish stranger. Why should I be soft-hearted toward a stranger?" Adrian's body shook violently, he covered his face in pain, emitting beast-like whimpers. I watched him quietly for a moment, then stood up. I'm here today just to tell you, I'm getting married. His body stiffened, he jerked his head up, looking at me in disbelief. I waved my ring finger with the diamond ring at him, smiling brightly. It's Lucian. He's great, 1,000 times, 10,000 times better than you. Adrian, thank you for not marrying me back then, allowing me to meet the right person. With that, I turned and left, never looking back. From the visitation room behind, his heart-wrenching cries echoed. But all that was irrelevant to me now. I walked out of the prison into perfect sunshine. Lucian's car was parked nearby, he leaned on the door, holding a bouquet of sunflowers. Seeing me, he immediately came forward, stuffed the flowers into my arms, and gave me a big hug. It's all over, he whispered in my ear. I hugged him back, burying my face in his warm chest, and nodded. Yes, it's all over. Lucian and my wedding was held on a sunny island. No media was invited, only closest family and friends. Father held my hand, handing me to Lucian, his eyes reddening. Lucian, my daughter is now entrusted to you. Lucian nodded solemnly. Dad, rest assured, I'll use my lifetime to love and protect her. We exchanged rings, vowing lifelong commitment under the priest's witness. Sunshine, beach, waves, and my love's kiss. Everything was as beautiful as a dream. Post-marriage life was plain yet happy. Lucian spoiled me like a princess. He remembered every anniversary, cooked for me personally, watched boring idle dramas with me, and massaged me when I was tired from work. He transferred half of Starshine Media's shares to my name. He said, "Mine is yours, we share everything." I asked him, "Aren't you afraid I'll run off with your money one day?" He smiled, scraping my nose, "Then I'll earn more, until you can't run anymore." A year later, I gave birth to fraternal twins. Lucian completely became a slave to his daughter and son, revolving around the two little ones daily, his actor heirs gone. Occasionally, I saw news about Adrian. He was released from prison but had been completely abandoned by the industry. No one dared hire him, and no one remembered him. I heard he later went to a small city, opening a small noodle shop to barely get by. Once, Lucian and I took the kids to that city for travel and unintentionally passed his noodle shop. He seemed to sense something, lifting his head and looking my way. Our eyes met in the air. He froze, the spoon in his hand dropping to the ground. Lucian slowed the car. "Want to go see?" From the back seat came the children's crisp laughter as they shared a cake. That was my new, warm world. I shook my head, "No need, just passing by." The car sped up again, merging into traffic. But in less than 5 minutes, I changed my mind. "Stop the car." Lucian steadily parked on the roadside, unbuckled his seatbelt, and looked at me. "I'll go with you." "No need." I pushed open the door. "You watch the kids, I'll be back soon." I walked alone against the flow of people, back to that street. The noodle shop was small, with greasy tables and chairs, yellowed menus on the walls. Adrian stood behind the kitchen curtain, wearing a washed-out white t-shirt, cooking noodles for customers. He had gained weight and looked haggard, with deep crow's feet and a slightly hunched back. I sat in a corner. He came out carrying noodles and spotted me at once. The bowl in his hand shook, spilling a few drops of soup. He placed the noodles on the customer's table and quickly walked toward me, his face showing shock, embarrassment, and a fleeting glimmer. "Iris, you." "One bowl of signature noodles." I interrupted him, calmly looking at the menu on the wall. He froze in place, his face draining of color. The surrounding diners' gazes shifted between us. His lips moved a few times, but he said nothing, turning back to the kitchen. Soon, a bowl of noodles was heavily placed before me. He sat opposite, staring intently, eyes full of red veins. Are you here to mock me? I picked up chopsticks, lifted a noodle strand, but didn't eat. Are you doing well? He asked, his voice extremely hoarse. I didn't answer. He suddenly laughed, a laugh uglier than crying. I know, you must be doing great, married to Lucian, became an actress, envied by all. So, you came today to show off, to tell me how much of a failure I am, right? His emotions spiraled out of control, his voice growing louder, attracting side glances. I put down the chopsticks, drew 100 yuan from my wallet, and pressed it under the bowl. The noodles are on me. I stood to leave. He suddenly grabbed my wrist with alarming strength. Iris, don't go. Tell me, have you, even for a moment, regretted it? The madness and pleading in his eyes caused me physical discomfort. I forcefully shook off his hand. Adrian. I looked at him, word by word. What I regret most is meeting you. His body swayed, as if all strength was drained, collapsing back into the chair. I turned and walked out of that suffocating little shop without looking back. Under the sun, Lucian's car was parked at the corner. I opened the door and got in. The twins in the back were asleep, serene smiles on their little faces. Lucian asked nothing, just started the car and held my slightly cold hand. His palm was dry and warm. I leaned back in the seat, watching the receding street scenes outside the window. That noodle shop, that man, were quickly left behind, growing smaller until completely vanishing. Soothing music played in the car, the road home was smooth. My phone dinged with a message from an unknown number, wishing you happiness. I smiled and handed the phone to Lucian. He glanced at it, directly blacklisted the number, and deleted the message. He held my hand, fingers interlaced. Wife, don't look at such trash messages anymore, they dirty your eyes. I smiled, leaning into his embrace as sunlight streamed through the window, warm and comfortable. Yes, my life no longer needs blessings from irrelevant people. Because I already possess the world's best happiness.